Good evening and welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is the Wednesday edition of Sports Tonight on your award-winning Channels Television. My name is Yemi Adebayo. Well, a lot of things are happening in the exciting world of sports, and what we're going to do tonight is to take you on a trip across the ever-exciting world of sports. We want you to get involved in everything that we're doing. We want you to maybe even push us in the direction you want us to go on the show tonight. So we want you to be part of everything that we're going to do. And this is the way you can do it. You can talk to us on Facebook. You can get across to us on Twitter as well. You can send a tweet to us on @channels_sports. You can send your comments, your thoughts, your contribution, maybe suggestions, Channels iPhone Sports. You can also tweet at the handle right there on your screen. And also, let's also inform you that all our top stories can be found on channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. You can also go to m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile devices. If what you have is iPad, iPhone, and BlackBerry, just go to m.channelstv.com and follow that link and follow the instructions you receive. You can also download the app for iOS, Windows, and Android from their respective stores and view us live. Okay, so that's what you need to do right now on the show so that you can be involved in everything that we're doing. Well, before I go any further, let me quickly introduce my partners on the show tonight. Well, okay, let me start from the extreme. Let me introduce, I'm going to get it right. I promise myself I will do. News editor of Sporting Life, Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu, joins us on the show tonight. Onyenwuchi, forget the fact that I'm leaving somebody out, but let me welcome you first to the show tonight.
Yeah, you got it right, Yemi.
Okay.
A pleasure being on the program.
Okay, and I also have the pleasure of having with me Toyin Ibitoye, smiling Toyin Ibitoye. You can understand, but Toyin, before I start asking you the question, a lot of questions for you already on Twitter, but let me welcome you to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Yemi. It's a pleasure to be back on Sports Tonight.
It's good to see you smile.
Thank you for all the hard words that you guys have been sending to us. You guys are actually pushing us, and no problem. But okay. It's good to be on the show.
All right. Okay. Well, let's start tonight by joining the Athletics Federation of Nigeria in making an appeal, for the release of Professor Ken Anijegwe. News reaching us has it that he has been kidnapped. Professor Anijegwe is head of the medical committee of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. He is the immediate past president of NUGA, and he is also a professor of sports science. So guys, that's how we have to start the show, making an appeal. Some days ago it was also about Siasia's mother, all of these issues. So we're making an appeal. So I guess you guys will, join in and make the appeal so that the man will be released.
Well, Yami, it's sad when you start a program, with this kind of unpalatable stories.
Yeah.
Professor Anigweje,
okay.
He was in charge of the High Performance Center in the University of Port Harcourt.
Is still in charge?
Yes, still in charge, and a center that has, helped in no small measure, to prepare our athletes for, international championship. And I don't think this is the best for us at this moment. We only appeal to the kidnappers.
Yes.
Maybe they made a mistake.
Okay.
Maybe they mistook the professor for another person. But whoever it is, whether it's a professor or any Nigerian, I think it's not good that we continue with this spate of kidnapping.
Yeah.
It brings the country into disrepute. 2 days ago, it was the ailing mother of Samson Siasia. And so pathetic is the fact that the mother was taking care of the Siasia's father, who is visually impaired, living in the village. These septuagenarians have served this country in various capacities, and this is not the way to pay them back in their old age. I think we should respect the sanctity of life and release the professor unconditionally so that he can go back to his family. You can imagine the kind of trauma that they are going through this moment.
Any addition?
No, I think the worrying thing for me is how sportsmen are beginning to get dragged into all of these things.
Becoming soft targets.
Yeah, because we always say that sports is a unifying factor.
Absolutely.
That whatever is happening, sports people are always immune to all of this.
Doesn't enter into sports.
Because you are seen as an embodiment of
everybody
Nigeria's
knows
unity.
you, everybody knows you.
Just for example, is the coach of the Olympic team. We are preparing for a crucial game, and then you go pick up the mom. You ask yourself, are those guys really Nigerians, or don't they know who they are dealing with?
They are somehow disconnected.
Professor Ken is in charge of the High Performance Center, but of course, he's been so involved with the training of our athletes, preparing our athletes for different international competitions. He's a very respected sports administrator. You ask yourself, what interest is anyone going to be serving by kidnapping him? You ask yourself, are these guys Nigerians at all, or don't they understand exactly what is going on? But I think it's a challenge that we have to face in the present times, and just pray that God will give our leaders that wisdom, that boldness to solve these kidnapping issues.
Tackle all those issues
once and for all, but it's not palatable at all. Not palatable at all.
All right, so well, that was not the way we hoped to start, but that's the bit we can do. And hopefully, maybe when we come here tomorrow, we'll be talking about all of these people being released into the custody of their families. All right, guys. The last few months, we've been talking about the FIFA elections, the FIFA scandal. I mean, there probably has been no day that we didn't have to talk about it. But now, news that we have, Sepp Blatter and Platini have had their appeals thrown out. And someone on Twitter just asking us, Odebumi Olukule says, what next for Blatter and Platini now that their appeals have been thrown out? To me, that would seem that Platini would not contest that election. We're already hearing that he might go to CAS. I don't know how all of that will play out, but let me start with you, Uchiwachukwu. Where does it leave us?
Well, I feel sorry for Michel Platini and and his old ally, Sepp Blatter. You know, having served football in different capacities over the years, Blatter has been in football for over 4 decades, understudying your Havilange, the former president of FIFA. You know, when he was Secretary General and he became the president. The same thing with Platini, had an illustrious career as a player and as an administrator. You know, I think it's a big lesson for administrators, football especially, who are going to come into the running of the game to be transparent. What we have heard over the years is so shameful. I just hope they are able to clear their names. Yeah. But going to CAS may not even solve any issue, because already Platini could not make it to. He has not been cleared to run for the office of the FIFA president. It shows that there's still that integrity doubt issue hanging on him. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to clear their names.
Tony, Platini, the adjudicatory committee of I think it's a branch of the ethics committee, would have a meeting sometime around Christmas. Do you see anything coming out of it? Maybe Platini could be left off the hook.
The FIFA elections, the way the FIFA elections are going, it's going to be pretty tough for Blatter or for Platini to have any role to play, to get a look in, because it's the court of public opinion now, and the appeal to have a clean FIFA and all of it, and the politics is not going their way, obviously, and I don't see that changing in the next couple of days. The link between Platini and Blatter, and at the time that it came, will make it very difficult for anybody to turn anything in anyone's favor, whether Platini alone or Platini and Blatter together. So it's a very tough one, and I think the lesson really is for our administrators. Platini was in the forefront of this call at the initial stage. Yes, that FIFA is not clean up Blatter. Now you are cleaning up Blatter and you are being cleaned out as well. So I think it's a lesson really. Sometimes you really have to pray for what you have to really be careful what you pray for. Because you don't even know what dimensions it's going to take. But it's an interesting one, and the entire world is waiting to see where the pendulum will swing at the end of the day. Because Blatter is out, Platini out. It just throws everything up in terms of who the next president of FIFA will be.
Both of them have said they were going to continue to fight in a bid to clear their name. But let's quickly look at this before we go on break. I looked at it, but people that have gone to Court of Arbitration for Sports in FIFA didn't end well. But looking at these two key figures, I don't think Blatter will go to CAS, but it looks like Platini because he's desperate to become the next FIFA president. So if that's the only choice that is left with, if he eventually goes, would there be a backlash?
Obviously, there'll be a backlash. For Blatter, like you said, the man is almost heading towards 80.
Even health-wise.
Health-wise, he has been
battling. He's battling to save his health.
I think there is little or nothing at stake for him. He has to bow out. It's a very traumatic period for him. For Platini, like Tony said, those that must come to equity must come with clean hands.
Yes.
His own was even more tragic because he was in the forefront. He was agitating for transparency, integrity. Little did we know that he too had
skeleton in his cupboard.
So a lot of people were surprised that he could be involved in such scandalous dealings. But if he goes to CAS, it's like taking your employer to court. If he eventually wins, are you coming back to go? Are you going to?
It is within his right. I mean, it is within his right to go to CAS. If he gets a favorable judgment, fine for him. That will probably save a lot of things for him because he still has. I mean, he's still well rated amongst his colleagues, particularly in UEFA. So if he goes to CAS and they can accelerate the hearings before the election date and give him a judgment that is favorable to him, it's going to be good for him. It will once again turn everything around again, around the FIFA elections, throw up all the options again, and it could be in with a good chance. But if he doesn't get it, that's clearly the end of the road for him. So it's still evenly poised. Yeah. It's still evenly poised. Everybody is still, I was trying to find out from a few top persons around football that, look, what direction is this election going to go? And they said, look, everything is still on knife's edge because Blatter can come in, Blatter may be out, Platini could come in, and when he comes in, the options are changed again, the equation will change again. If he's out finally, then we have to start to look for the different options and all of that. So everything is still evenly poised as it is right now. We're waiting for, definitely, he wants to push to the last. He has the option of going to CAS. It's within his right to go to CAS. If he gets a favorable judgment at Friday, that could be the turning point for him.
From what we hear, Friday might just be the day he decides if everything doesn't work to his favor. But when you talk about CAS, you remember being a man and the way everything turned out when he decided, got a favorable judgment. But the guys in FIFA had the way they just thumped things.
And the same guys are still there.
And the same guys are still
do it.
Okay, so we'll wait to see how all of these things, how it's going to unravel. But it's getting interesting by the day. Well, let's go on a quick break and allow you listen to